Alright. What's up, YouTube? HPJ here. And guess what, guys? It's been 10 years since I started this channel. It has been 10 full years that Harpie Player Joe, the channel, has been up. And I just want to start off by saying thank you to all of you who have been here on the channel and have been supportive of a lot of the things that I've done for YouTube. Even though my channel is very small, even though my numbers and stuff don't match up, I just want to thank you all for being there, even though things have not always been peachy keen and dandy. With that said, I think it's only fair that I talk about a lot of things for the channel. And I have a lot of stories to tell, so I'm going to take the next 30 minutes to talk about it. To talk about the channel, talk about a lot that's been going on, a lot of just everything that needs to be talked about and addressed. So, we started off, of course, we got to talk about the origin of the channel itself. How did the channel come to be? Um, the channel itself originally started off as a little experiment. I was with a group of friends at a locals years back, decade back. And I remember I had a YouTube channel. Actually, I ended up making a Google account because YouTube was popping at the time, and a lot of people were hopping on to YouTube. And I remember having a YouTube channel. I just never used it. I think the only time I ever used YouTube was just to look at videos, just to look at Pokemon and stuff like that, and watch a lot of anime because stuff like that was really big back then. And I was having a conversation with a couple of friends, and we were talking about it, and I ended up saying, well, I want to do something for YouTube. I want to put a video out there. And a lot of people were very skeptical about it at first, but I was very serious about it. And I was really wanting to do it. So a friend of mine took his phone, and we ended up recording my first video. My first video, I believe, for the channel, in terms of its own content, is probably a fortunately that profile, because I think the video that I did have up, I think went onto my friend's channel for the little team we had then, but it didn't work out too well. There's a lot of conflict between a lot of us, and a lot of people left, a lot of people stayed, a lot of people went, and I think at that point the team itself disbanded. But when the team itself were being formed, a lot of us said, "Wow, we're he really wants to do this," and I was like, "Yeah, I really want to do it." And there's a lot of YouTubers here in Northern California, some that many of you know. And that's actually where I got a lot of my inspiration for wanting to do it, was just, they were doing it. And it's like, well, why don't I do it? And I jumped at the chance, and I went for it. Um, and I never looked back. I do look back in a lot of situations, but I think at that point, I really did enjoy a lot of what I put, a lot of what I made. Even though sometimes I don't seem like it, I really do enjoy what I do. Because if I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't be doing it. And at a certain point, you know, I still question myself sometimes. Is it worth it? Do you really want to do it? Are you sure you want to do it? Let's think this out. And I did think it out a lot. And I really still do want to do YouTube. And, one day I'm going to sit down. I'm really going to, have a full heart to heart with myself and figure out where everything is. Um, just so that I can get my bases together. Now, the origin of the name of the channel was a name that changed throughout the last 10 years. Originally, the name itself was Rude Eye Extreme. This was actually a pun um, from one of my favorite kids shows, Shaolin Showdown. And the extreme part actually was just something that I added to it because I wanted to reflect my inspirations from them. I wanted to build decks based off of each of the attributes the Yu-Gi-Oh game had, and then I wanted to just incorporate a lot of that into what I wanted to do as a YouTuber. So that's how I ended up getting the name. Now the name changed itself. Let's talk about that. So the name Harpie Joe came to be a couple of years back. I was watching a live stream with one of my favorite live streamers, Mr. Sun Call Me Johnny. And at the end of his SA2 playthrough, he did when he was, I think he had just started live streaming, and he jumped to YouTube gaming at first, and he was doing a shout out at the end of the video because I think he was waiting for his call. I think he was waiting for Nathan to come back, or I think they had just finished playing the hero side or dark side, sorry, and they I think it was him. I think it was him and Nathan, and they were talking. He was giving shout outs to everyone in the chat, and my name happened to pop up, and he didn't say my name right, and I was so embarrassed, and I was like, I was trying to correct him, but then once the video had ended, yeah, it was a wrap, and I was like, I wanted to correct him because I wanted him to say it right, and I think at that point that's where I started to say, I think it's time to change the name. And I think the next day, I ended up running into I was with a couple of my friends, and then we were talking about, I think we were talking about something, and then I asked them, I was like, should I change the name of my channel? And I explained to them what the situation was, and they're like, well, if you wanted to, you can. You have the chance to. And I ended up changing the name. So I went from Udai Extreme, and then it went, the spelling of the word itself actually had changed because it went from WODAIXTREME. And then from there, it changed to the O was replaced with a U, and then I eventually changed it to Harpie Show. And then that's how the origin of that name came to be. Was because I'm a big fan of the Harpies. That is my favorite deck. That is one of my main decks in the game. And because of what I love for it, I ended up changing it and becoming Harpie Joe. And the player part was actually added 2 years ago, where I fixed it due to I wanted, because I always capitalized it HPJ, and then people were like, "Well, why is the P capitalized?" Because P isn't in any of the names except for Harvey, but that's small. And I explained that it was a pun to HP, and how I had an old deck called Harpie. I had an old deck with Black Wings that combined Harpies with it, and some people just felt it wasn't rolling off the tongue, and um, it wasn't something that they were akin to. So I ended up changing the name again. That's when I changed it from Harpie Joe to Harpie Player Joe, and it was a great experience. It honestly was. Having my name changed, for better or for worse, it was a confidence boost. And it really set the tone for the channel, because then it was like, okay, well, he's Harpie Player Joe. So what aspirations can he give for the Harpie archetype? What aspirations can he give to the channel? And I did that. And I still enjoy it even to this day. There's a lot of things that I sit down and I really just talk. I talk and talk. And I think one day I'm going to podcast, and that's going to be where the real money's going to be rolling in, with the podcast and the live streams. But I'll get to that in just a minute. Um, Once the name change was set, I think everything else just started falling in. I started doing deck profiles. I started doing card reviews. Like, I really took it to a whole new level. Because originally, when I started the channel and everything, a lot of things were just not what I wanted them to be at that point. A lot of everything that was set in stone was not set in stone. I was struggling to record. I didn't have I didn't have like a stand like I do now. I didn't have a recorder on my phone to really record off of anything. I didn't have YGL Pro on mobile to really take advantage of deck building and showing off decks and stuff like that. Literally all of this just popped around 2015, 2016. Once all of that was together, bam, we kept going, and it was great. It was a great experience. It was a great put together, and it's been so much fun. It really has. But it's a bittersweet fun. like it's been a bittersweet experience. I lost a lot of friends along the way. There's been a lot of arguments. There's been a lot of back and forth with people, trolls, and whatnot. And it's been so difficult just trying to deal with a lot of it. Mentally, physically, emotionally, it's been a train wreck. Um, that I've been riding this train wreck for so long, and I've just never really thought of the friends that I had really having my back like I thought they were, especially because of a situation I know I eventually will have to address. Um, but for the most part, let's keep it back on track. Let's talk about social media as a whole. The channel itself has a lot of attachments. We have the Facebook page on Facebook with the same name. We have the Harpie Deck and Strategies group, which is also attached to this for those Harpie players who want to talk about, their decks and their strategies and cards and ideas that they want to play within the deck. Then we go from there. We move on to this channel has an Instagram. This channel has a Twitter. This Instagram is the latest thing that the channel has gotten. I think the Instagram has been over a year now. So it's been a year since it's been over a year now since the channel's Instagram came to be, and it has a Reddit page. We have a Reddit page. I don't use Reddit, so. And then I have a Patreon. I barely use it. Actually, I have nothing started up, but I'm gonna start up something just to say, okay, guys, this is the first goal, and the first goal literally will be a new laptop because I need a laptop so I can have access to the internet, access in range to YouTube, and a lot more freedom to create things from there. Then, of course, we do have the Twitter. I do have a Twitter account, and then I have a Discord. I have a Discord for the channel, which rarely gets anything uploaded to, and I think that's something else I want to change. Like, if once I start uploading stuff, I want it to directly go to YouTube. I mean, to Twitch and to Facebook. Well, it doesn't. It can't go to Twitter no more because they discontinued that. Thanks, Google. And then for Discord, I'm gonna have to like share and then post it on Discord and post it in my general chat or post it in my uploads and stuff and get that together again because I do want people to engage in a lot of the aspects of what I do for the channel, whether it's Discord, whether it's YouTube and stuff like that. So I just have to get a lot of that together once again. Um, we do have a Twitch channel, but I stopped live streaming because, like I said, I don't have the equipment for it. I didn't have the audience for it. It was just so much bad timings. It was just a crazy experience with live streaming, and that's why I ended up just saying I didn't want to do it no more. As of last year, I stopped doing it just because it was such a strain to really have everything where it was, and at that point, I just backed out. It wasn't like the going was getting tough. I backed out. It was more so of nothing was really latching on, and I was trying to do the best as I could, and I let it go. It was a very painful situation, but it's whatever. And I mean, maybe if I go back to it later on, then yeah, I'll go back to it. But as of now, there really isn't much that I can hold on to when it comes to live streaming, and I'm okay with that. And in the future, if I do decide to live stream, hopefully I'll have a decent enough audience to where it can go. Like, I don't expect a whole bunch of people. I just expect people to be there. That's all I really ever wanted. When I live streamed, I wanted people to be there, and I wanted people to, come and watch and support. Um, so yeah, that covers about the basis of it. Well, I covered social media. Um, let's cover the content of the channel. So the content is for the most part Yu-Gi-Oh related, deck profiles, um, you know, just card stuff. And it used to be Puzzles and Dragons, but that fell. I think a lot of people want me to come back to Puzzles and Dragons. Um, maybe in the future. I don't know. I'll talk it over with some friends and see. Because I do have a friend. Um, he plays Puzzles and Dragons. He's really really good at it, and I think the last time he was doing something. He did a really good job at a couple of the ranked duels. A couple of the ranked dungeons, and he was showing me a box of his and some of the cards he was looking forward to. He asked me about the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff and was I interested? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm very interested because Yu-Gi-Oh's going to cross over with Puzzles and Dragons. Uh, crossover with Puzzles and Dragons. The NA server itself is actually getting the update, and we're going to have Puzzle and Dragons cross Yu-Gi-Oh coming soon. I want to say sometime by next week or sometime in the middle of April. Of February. Hopefully towards the end of February, but not in the middle of February because that's when the Cyber movie comes out, and I kind of want to go see that. So, and then the structure deck for Shadows comes out that same day. So, yeah, I'm gonna have a lot to do that weekend. But no, that's literally what it's become. Like I look at deck profiles, I look at a lot of things within the community and a lot of things within the game, and that's just how everything rolls at that point. Um, I want to go into a lot of it in terms of like I had a lot of ideas and I dropped a lot of ideas. I had a lot of hit or misses, and that's okay. If anything, I tried, and that's all that matters. And for some people who say no, you didn't try hard enough, you're not on this end of the spectrum, my friends. Just let it be and enjoy what I do have to offer. It's very hard, it's very difficult, but someone has to do it. Then, um, and now when we bring that up, let's talk about just the overall consent. The overall situation with, trolls and constructive criticism and stuff like that. I don't mind it when people give me constructive criticism. It's how you say it. If you're in the comment section and you're saying, I don't like the fact that you use insert car's name here, and I think you should use this, and this, that's not helping. That's not what constructive criticism is. Look at the definition of word constructive criticism. It's when someone wants to give their opinion to help you so you can better yourself, not sit there and criticize every little thing that you do. And I think that's the biggest problem with Yu-Gi-Oh! With the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community, and one of the biggest things with YouTubers is that how we deal with people helping with constructive criticism or people just addressing certain situations in which they want to help, but there's always that fine line between constructive criticism and then criticism itself. Like if you're not going to be positive about it, a lot of people don't want to hear that. And if you're not, if you're going to help, there's a way that you can help without being a backseat duelist or a backseat driver that does not understand or know what they're talking about. A lot of this just comes from a lot of the nasty things that have been going on. Um, and I know there's one particular situation that I do want to address. Um, no, it is not the one between me and Harpie Empress. I've let that ship sail. And I said what I had to say to that individual, and I let it go from there. The issue I had was, and is still, with someone I used to call a friend of mine who really was not my friend. And um, the whole situation came about when some stuff was posted on social media and he thought it was about him. If you know who the situation is, I think at this point you guys know who I'm talking about. And I was lashed out at for just being who I am. And my gripe with that, just, I was very hurt. I'm still very hurt by what was said. I have not gotten over it. And I've tried. Um, it led me into a really dark place. And I want to address that fully with a lot of people who are watching this. Because if anyone knows who I'm talking about, well, it's Mike. Um, and you should know by the basis of who that is. And it was a nasty situation. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it any more than I probably have already. We had a nasty fallout at a regionals last year in San Jose due to me not knowing that I needed an ID to enter the event. And some people are still questioning why they didn't need an ID for that. But I guess it's just for safety reasons. And then there's also, of course, people who were banned from the game and they try to re-enter the game under other names. So they want an ID to identify who each of the people are when they come to these events. So because I did not know that and I hadn't played for so many years, I really didn't think that was an issue. No one really told me. He claimed he told me the day before. I wasn't really paying much attention because I was already trying to grab my ID at that time, and I was really trying to get, a lot of my own stuff together. I was trying to get the Salamangreat deck. I was trying to get Ash Blossoms. I was really just trying to fix a lot of what was going on, and I really was not paying attention. So we had a fallout that morning because I was yelled at by the TO and the head judge, who was technically the same person. Um, there was a lot of fallout between me and him. Then, like, he didn't want to hear what I had to say. I even told him to his face we had a lot of issues. Like, I was really mad at him. He was like, "Why are you mad at me?" I was like, "You should know why I'm mad at you." He was really playing the I don't know card. So I ended up playing it back with him. And it just led into a really nasty crying session of myself really just sitting there like, people have to understand where I stand with this game. I don't have a lot of things under my belt. And I was trying to come back into it with at least something under my belt. Like, I played in the regionals and did well enough to play in the regionals. I still have not fully went through 100% a regional event. And I really wanted to have that experience. I've never been to a YCS. I want to go to a YCS and actually see how well I do there. Like, I want to pick a deck and literally play the deck and go to the YCS with it and see how far I can go. Like, I really want to have that experience. It's going to be a very stressful one, but I really wanted to take that experience. And he didn't understand. I think even to this day, he doesn't understand just how much of it I put into this. And I feel like he never really understood. So a couple of weeks later, it was a nasty follow on Facebook, and I got called trash. I got told I like drama. I start drama just because I have nothing else better to do with myself. It was a really nasty post, and me and him were sitting there in DMs, and me explaining myself, which I should never had to explain myself, but I guess I did. And it was just like, it came out as just a lot of nasty things have been said about me. People don't want to be around me or associated with me, and it was just it was just a mess. And I didn't have the chance to actually confront the situation. We ran into each other a couple of months back, in November at Sacramento regionals, and that led to the point of I couldn't get a ride back home or where I was at during the time because the regionals, um, was in Sacramento. I was actually out in Oakland. I couldn't get a ride back. He wouldn't give me the ride back. His friends were trying to convince him to give me a ride back, and he just wouldn't. And it was at a point where my ride, who wasn't going back initially, ended up giving me a ride back. Um, and I do appreciate that, my friend Fernando, for doing that, even though it was a lot of his own stuff he was trying to do that day, and a lot of it unfortunately fell out for him. But he wanted to be a good pal and he wanted to help, and I do appreciate that, and I do thank him for that. Really, really, I do thank him for that. Um, and it was just a nasty fallout between me and Mike, and that point we just don't speak. We haven't spoken, and a lot of people, like, I don't know where they stand in defense of it, which is also funny because some of his friends are still speaking to me, so I don't know. But I can't trust everybody. And it was in such a burden of not being able to talk about it that I'm finally glad I got to talk about it. And maybe some people will at least get to hear my side of the story, and it's not any jumping to conclusions type of situations. But, like, people say I don't take criticism well, but like I said, I deal with trolls every day, and it's crazy how many trolls I deal with, how many people I've had to block, how many people I've had to put on a timeout. It's like, how old are we that we have to do this? Yeah, that was the story of my life. Then, I guess just to get that out of the way, and that was the big thing in the room. Um, I think for the most part, just everything else just falls where it falls. Like I tell people, if you have a problem with me, just have a problem with me. But don't get your little clan of friends and you guys want to just spam dislikes to a video that one you don't watch, two you have no idea what the content is, and three you're just being petty. And that is one of the big things that if I give any advice to people, just be careful of the trolls because they do exist and they are toxic. Yu-Gi-Oh has a lot of them, especially. Um, and yeah, that was a good portion of it. Just a sigh of relief that I finally get to address that after so many years, and I mean after so many months, and just verbatimly being asked, well, what happened, and finally being able to talk about it after so long. Um, yeah, so I guess to end on some more on a more positive note of it, what the future of the channel holds, personally, I don't know yet. Personally, I'm working on it, and I hope that whatever does come of the channel, the people who are watching enjoy it, the people in the future who are coming to the channel enjoy it, and hopefully I do get to my 1K. I just want to hit 1K. Um, it's sad I didn't hit 1K here, but I'll hit 1K one day. Hopefully within the next year, next 5 year. Well, hopefully in the next 5 years. I don't think I'll get 1K within the next year, but hopefully in the next 5 years or so, I can get to 1K, and I can enjoy the bliss of being, monetized and really just taking advantage of a lot of the things that come with that, because that really means that my voice is going to be heard, or my voice is going to be, listened to, and a lot of the content that I create isn't a waste of time. And I mean, I've moved up pretty far. I used to have to hold my phone up, or I used to have to like do a lot of crazy stuff to a stand. Now I have my own portable stand. I have this table and stuff that you guys probably see on Facebook, because I mean on Instagram, because I posted it on Instagram right before I recorded, right before this, while this video is being uploaded. That I have all this great stuff, and I'm working really hard to have the channel itself grow. And hopefully by the time it grows, and hopefully by the time everything finishes out, everything will be okay. Um, and I think one of the big things I do want to do, hopefully this year, is I do want to return to live streaming. I really want to return to live streaming. And I really want to take advantage of everything that I can do while I live stream. Like, I really, really do want to go back to it. And just, I hope it works out for me. I really do. So, before the video itself ends, I just want to say thank you to you guys once again. Thank you guys so much for your support, for your encouragement, for sticking it out with me. I know it's been crazy. I know a lot of things have been going on, but I just want to say thank you guys, for being there for me. In terms of future content, like I said, expect more videos, expect more Yu-Gi-Oh. Hopefully that Puzzles and Dragons Yu-Gi-Oh stuff gets announced, and then I can talk about that some more. I'm going to be talking about some more decks, some more information for Yu-Gi-Oh, and everything else to come. So, thanks everybody for watching. All the links to my social media accounts are in the description box below. They're also a part of the channel's info. Check the discussion tab, guys. I post stuff there. I post stuff all the time, or whenever I get the chance. So please check that out, because I will post there with information, with a lot of updates and stuff. I'm going to try to get the thing where you can post information through your videos, like the little questions and stuff. I want to try to get that together too. Like I said, this is why I need a laptop, and I'm gonna get my Patreon back up, and I'm gonna put that and post that again too, so you guys can help me get the money raised and put the stuff together. So, with the last 10 seconds, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a blast for the last 10 years, and I'll catch you guys next time.